everybody. My name is Tex, and I apologize if I'm running a little late on the video. Um, I guess these are the uh, post when I had COVID video starts here. I did talk a little bit about having it, and I will mention a little bit before I start that I guess there's a condition called post-COVID apnea. So even though I don't have asthma, I've had a lot of bronchitis in the past, so I can imagine if you combine the two, this is probably where I'm at now. So if you see me sucking a little air every now and then, it's me trying to catch up with my breath. But otherwise, I'm doing pretty good, and hopefully I'll be around to kick it for a little longer. I do have things I would like to share with you. One of the things that I'm talking about today is related to questions that had come up from clients who I do family therapy sometimes, and I work specifically with a lot of kids that are having problems with patience, anger issues, problems with impulsivity. Now, impulsivity covers a huge area because you can be impulsive and blurt. You can be impulsive and interrupt. You can be impulsive and do things physically. You can also be impulsive in the speed at which your emotions boil up and boil over, and then you get angry and stuff. So as I was talking to some parents this last weekend about the idea that they were explaining that, their child was having problems with waiting and delaying rewards, or, delaying gratification for things. And they had got into the question of how that had happened and what could they do to change it, and what maybe had they been contributing to that was making the situation worse. And as I always tell parents, you're doing the best you can with what you've got, and you can always do better. With that in mind, the way I explained it to them when they said, why is this problem so prevalent and why does my child have that? I said, I can't give you the specifics of your child without bringing in literally the specifics of your child, the genetics, the family situation, the history, everything else that goes into it. But I can say this much about overall with all of the kids that I work with, and comparing their generation to probably my generation or sooner. And the way I did this is the way I'm going to present it to you now. So nobody take this as a bomb on technology, but it is an understanding of what technology can do. Everything has a ripple effect. So what I want you to do is, for those that are old enough, think back of what it was like when you were a kid and Christmas time come around. Back in that day when they only had 3 channels on the TV, or maybe 4 if you lived in town and could get PBS, and everything was a matter of they would have the TV guide or something like that to tell you when stuff was coming on, or you would watch TV and there was advertisement. One of my favorite Christmas shows that would come on would be Santa Claus is Coming to Town, or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But most important to me, the one that was the big one for me, I absolutely adored the Charlie Brown specials. The Charlie Brown specials came on, there's the Halloween one, the Thanksgiving one, and the Christmas one. And every year they would come on, and this is the thing, back in those days, not quite dinosaur days, they would advertise that this was coming on. It came on one time and one time only, and it would come on, and you knew that on a certain Thursday night or Tuesday night at a certain time, 7 o'clock, that show was coming on. It was coming on this channel. And you planned on it. You thought about it. You knew, you made sure you didn't have nothing. You made sure you behaved so you could watch TV that night. And you made a big deal about being there on that night to watch that show. Now think about that for a minute. That takes planning with anticipation. And you don't get your reward unless you carry out and carefully execute your plan on getting there. In other words, it takes planning and patience. And I realized it wasn't just this TV show, but many things in our life took this planning and waiting. If I wanted something from the store, it meant that I had to figure out how much it cost. I had to go find a way to earn the money, mowing yards, raking leaves, doing chores, anything I could do to scrounge a buck, or back in them days, a quarter. And if you put all your change and quarters and bucks together, you would have enough to buy that toy that you were planning on. I remember sometimes as a kid trying to get away with the old, buy it for me now and I'll pay you later thing. And most of the times it was simply a case of there wasn't no money for now. If you wanted it, this is what it cost. You figure out a way to get it. That is a lost art. Because nowadays, if your kid wants to watch the Charlie Brown Christmas special, all you do is you go on your phone, you look to see when it's coming up, and you pop the okay, yeah, it's free on this demand. You can see it right now. Go sit in front of the TV and watch it. There is no planning, there's no waiting, there's no delayed gratification. In fact, if you look at most of the things that you have in your life, you can get them almost instantly. 2 days with Prime, special shipping, get it early. Just go to the store and buy it now. Have Uber deliver it to you, or DoorDash. I mean, something as simple as getting McDonald's. You don't have to drive over there. You can sit in your house and watch TV until it arrives at your door. Our whole world has become a case of you don't have to wait, get it now. In fact, planning for something has taken the reverse. Buy it on a credit card and then pay for it, which basically means get it now and pay for it later, and pay for it and pay for it and pay for it and pay for it. Because here's the catch. If you're not learning how to delay gratification, if you're not learning how to plan to get something, it's hard for you then to control yourself later on. It's hard for you to even control yourself when it comes to eating. If you wanted something really good, you used to have to get down a recipe book, cook it, save up money, go to the restaurant where it was at. There was a lot of planning that went into it and time, and then you got it. Nowadays, you have a craving, satisfy it right now. You got something you want, get it right now. If you can't get it, they'll bring it to you. Look at the effect this has had overall on your kids. Because when people tell me my kids don't have any patience, I look at them very kindly and I go, when were you teaching them patience? And I get a blank look and I'm like, patience is a skill. It's the same skill you teach your kids when you're teaching them to be honest, friendly, kind, helpful. These are things you teach. Very rarely is there a soul born on this planet who just automatically knows how to do all these things. You observe them, you watch them, and you share the ideas with others. You learn how to do it, and you have people guiding you on how to do it, and you learn these skills. So you haven't taught your kid patience. Now, I'm not saying that you're bad for that. It's an easy oversight. In fact, as a society, we tend to teach people not to teach. We convince the parents that the schools or somebody else will teach your child, don't worry about it. And even if you do want to teach your child that, you run the gamut of having to deal with the neighbor's kid who got the brand new blah, 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 phone dash, whatever, newest thing for communications and games and whatever. And now you have the idea that if you try to look at your kid and say, wait, you can't have that now, you have to hear the backlash of, well, everyone else in my classroom has it, which everyone doesn't, but a bunch probably do. Why can't I, the neighbors have? And you have to be prepared to fight these battles. You have to be prepared to be the bad guy. Yes, I'm sorry to tell you, as a parent, your job is not to be the good guy. Your job is to be probably what is considered the bad guy, at the very least, to be the honest one who shows them the truth that no, you have to work for things. Follow the pattern. If your kids do not learn to plan and to wait and anticipate and then get, then it makes it difficult all the way down the line. They go through school frustrated because they can't just get the grades now. They can't just have A's now. Why can't I get the grade I want now? There's no, you need to work for it. You need to plan. When kids are, going towards the end of school and they want to go to college, and there's no planning. There's no forethought in where do I want to be? How do I want to get there? What do I want to do? In fact, the majority of the time I get the question, how much money will I make? What do you expect, folks? And again, I'm not knocking anybody who has technology, but what I am telling you is that if you don't control your technology the same way you control other things in your life, and you let it run you, and you let other people tell you what to do, and you start worrying more about what the neighbors have than you have, then you get into this game where instant gratification with no need to plan, no need to save, no need to work for something occurs. One of the sadder things I saw one day in the mall was, somebody was there with their kid, and it was a mom, and you could tell she wasn't, affluent, and the child desperately wanted some toy in the store. And the mom, simply said, I can't afford it, sweetheart. And the child literally goes, well, just go to the machine. Use your card. And that's where we're at right now. Go to the machine, use your card. So my next video, I'm going to go a little bit more into how you can counter this. I'm not just going to tell you there's a problem and walk away. What I will say is it's going to take some work. And if you're willing to do that, then stick with me and I'll give you some ideas on how to help your kid learn how to have a little more patience, how to slow down those impulses, how to delay gratification. Okay? So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.